We have Richie Patterson, the president of New Zealand Weightlifting, with us today. Thank you for jumping on with us. So pretty much we're just going to run through what's happening with New Zealand weightlifting at the moment. How do you feel the North-South Postal went last week?
Yeah, we're pretty happy with that. So a little bit of background: we were obviously New Zealand's in a pretty good position. I wouldn't say post-COVID, but post-lockdown in New Zealand. Obviously, we got on top of it. We were in lockdown for, I think it was 6 weeks total through the different levels. And now there's only isolated cases within isolated buildings, which are usually coming in from overseas. So that allowed us now to go back into basically full operation. Gyms are allowed to operate, competitions are allowed to operate. However, our competition schedule, we were still in lockdown when we had to make decisions on the North and South Island Championships events.
Yeah.
So we didn't have any absolute certainty of would we be at the stage that we're at now come these events. So we made that choice to do a national postal, which many countries are doing as well.
Yep.
And that one would, if we were able to do a North Island and South Island Championships, it still alleviated the pressure of all of our athletes to have to pay, to travel, to find accommodation. Many of us haven't been in work for a long period of time. So we wanted to take that financial strain off individuals as well, and also just create a bit of content and get weightlifting humming again in New Zealand. So being able to lift in your gym, put up some big numbers, have as many attempts as you want. Like, for example, we went max here on Friday, then max on Monday, then max on Wednesday, then max on Friday again. Just absolutely cooked my athletes. They're on a couple of deload weeks now, but let them just challenge themselves in their environment, have a good time with it. And we got massive uptake. Like it was our biggest competition that we've ever had in New Zealand in terms of participation.
Yeah.
We linked that in with functional strength CrossFit Olympic lifting postal the same week. So there were about 160 entries into that. We had 240 entries. So collectively across the country, what's that? 300 and almost 400 people.
Yeah, wow.
Maxing out that week, which was, if you think about it, for a sport of our size in New Zealand, that's pretty amazing.
That's massive.
And,
that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's pretty stoked.
Is it something that you guys would look to do continuing on? I know potentially not to completely substitute the live North and South champs, but is it something that you guys are looking to continue on?
So we will continue this every year now.
Yeah. Nice.
It won't take place of the North and South Island Championships. They will still be championship events. They will be physical events should we be able to do them. But we will now have a postal championship every year.
Yeah, very nice. Definitely gets the participation going and gets exciting online to watch all the lifters max out over that week as well.
Yeah, it's inspiring when you see people posting stuff. Some of the comments coming through about how they struggle with this, they hit it. Like some of the videos of like little teams all just jumping for joy around them. Like it's quite inspiring, and it's certainly created momentum back in our sport at a time that needed it. So yeah, we're really happy.
Yeah, very nice. And so moving on to the secondary school champs, you guys made the decision to have 4 different venues for the secondary school champs, and then kind of bring it all together, the results in the end. What was the thought process behind that?
So we were at a similar stage. We were in lockdown. We had an executive group meeting. We're like, look, we don't know where we're going to be come August. We might be in lockdown still. We might not be. How are we going to navigate the process of getting everyone? Originally, it was in Dunedin and Otago.
Yeah.
And we wanted to take secondary schools down there because they supported it. They've got such a good crew of kids lifting down in Dunedin. And we wanted to take nationals down there. But the accessibility of Dunedin is quite hard. There is limited flights with Air New Zealand having to withdraw a lot of their regional flights. The cost of travel is substantial, and we wanted to alleviate those costs off the secondary school athletes and their families during this phase. So we moved to a 4-venue secondary schools where we have Auckland, Central North Island, which is in Wellington, and then we're going Christchurch and Dunedin. And hopefully that will continue to drive the participation. We want high participation, we want involvement, and then we're collating the results. We've done this a few years ago and it works. It doesn't still have that same physical one competition championship event vibe,
Yeah.
but at the same time, we still get them involved in this one pinnacle event for the year and we can collate it.
So I've just been looking at the OWF tournament, the tournament league. What's your thought processes on that, like with entering the team and everything?
That's a pretty cool initiative. I know it's an old initiative that's been rehashed again. So really that actually fell in pretty good timeline with us being able to submit results.
Yeah.
And again, it's being online. It would be pretty cool if there was some element of some video as well there to help us generate some content. I think it would be really good from Oceania's perspective for us to maybe, Bowen, you're probably listening to this, Bowen, but create a OWF Instagram channel where we could upload. We have to tag the OWF into this prescribed post. We have to tag the right things and show the numbers again. Not to be pedantic or have referees involved, but to actually just generate some momentum and some content for the Oceania region. I know you're following the Samoan team. I'd love to see some of the videos coming out of Fiji and Nauru. Like, if we could get content coming from around the region to stimulate the whole region in terms of competitive, like, I know my athletes are watching some of the other athletes overseas, but it would be great to get more content out of those Pacific nations, and this is a really good opportunity. It's going to be interesting because after the first round, I've looked at what our collective total was, what our collective body weight was, what Australia is. So I looked at that, and then I've already started doing the maths of who should we select and how will we mitigate like the current difference and things. There's no point in us putting up our current numbers with our current team if we're 300 kilograms behind. So we start to look at lighter athletes with different total, and can we change that round a little bit? So it'll become a little bit tactical if you've got the time to put the work into it, but it could get some pretty tight competition.
It's going to be exciting, especially with the prize money that they've put up as well. It's pretty substantial prize money if you can get around it, and then obviously the Samoan team's going to be pretty hard to beat, but if you can put up a pretty good team against them, like anything can happen on that weekend. So it should be exciting to keep a track of and see what's going on. We saw a little post up of, I guess, a month ago now that you're looking at potentially competing at national champs. Is that still on the cards? What's happening there?
Yeah. I needed some motivation. So an old friend, Cody Cole, he went to the Commonwealth Games in 2014. He's actually a successful horse trainer at the moment. He's doing really well, but he had his 30th birthday. There was a few beers involved, and a challenge went down that we both have to do nationals. And I haven't been beaten at national. I think I got beaten once because I bombed back in 2007 or something. But outside of that, I haven't been beaten at national. So the goal is to go and try and win national. So I don't do things by halves. So I will train properly through to that. And I'm going to drop down to 81. So that'll be the lightest I've been since 2008 Olympic Games. So a bit of healthy eating, some hard training, and I still feel like I can do some good numbers. So hopefully I might scare a couple of these young bucks from around the Oceania region and the 81s.
Yeah, nice. I was going to ask, are you going to be going up against Cam in the 89? That would be interesting.
I have to win nationals, and I can't beat Cam. He's doing pretty good. So I think Cam, I've just let Cam full out for this period. He doesn't need to make weight, so he's just having some good time sitting at high 80s, consolidating. getting some strength. So it'll be good for him to do a nationals where he doesn't have to worry about dropping weight, and let him push some big numbers, and I'll drop down.
Yeah, nice. I mean, it's a pretty good good thing for a coach if you can't beat your own athletes. You're doing well.
Yeah, I always said that I'd retire if a junior beats me. He's not a junior anymore, but yeah, I'm certainly I'm hyper competitive. So if someone ever challenges me, I'm not likely to step back.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, hope to catch up again soon.
Thank you very much.